We live in a world that's just obsessed with popularity, right? Followers, likes, huge social circles. But what if I told you there's a different kind of power? The kind you find when you walk alone. Yeah, let's get into that.
I mean, think about it. Society tends to frame this as a problem. If someone doesn't have a big crew, we're kind of conditioned to see them as lonely or broken or that something's just off.
But here's a thought. What if we're looking at this completely backwards? What if walking your own path isn't about being in pieces, but about being whole? That's the powerful idea we're going to unpack right now. Okay, so first up, we have got to dismantle this massive myth about popularity. You know the one, this idea that having more friends somehow makes you more valuable. It's everywhere, and it's wired this false equation into our heads.
So here's the big reframe we need to make. The social myth is simple. Popularity equals success. More friends, more likes, you win. But the reality, the real truth, is that authenticity is what leads to wholeness, and that has absolutely nothing to do with how many people are in your circle.
So, what makes these individuals tick? What makes them so different? Well, it all starts on the inside, with what's happening in their mind when no one else is around. And their first superpower is a big one, internal validation. They simply don't need the outside world, the likes, the shares, the pats on the back, to know their own worth. Their self-esteem is self-generated. And this is what that actually looks like in real life, right? It means they're not chasing after a group just to belong. They're outgrowing those friendships that feel like a performance. They value who they are, and honestly, they'd much rather be completely themselves and alone than be half of who they are just to fit in with the crowd. This self-reliance naturally leads right into their next strength. These are often really deep, profound thinkers. And where does all that depth come from? Well, it comes from something that, let's be honest, most people tend to avoid: solitude. Just look at this contrast. For so many people, being alone is scary. It's something to avoid at all costs. But for these individuals, solitude is their fuel. It's not where they get drained, it's where they recharge, where they reflect, and where they grow. And they're not just, sitting around doing nothing in their alone time. They're actively using it. They're journaling in the morning, taking those long, reflective walks. And when they are with people, you'll notice they listen way more than they speak. Why? Because they're craving real depth, not just a bunch of noise. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of it. It's not about disliking people. It's about disliking shallow, meaningless interactions. They would take one deep, real conversation over 100 bits of small talk any day of the week. Okay, so if their inner world is so rich, how do they protect it? Well, that brings us to our next section. It's all about guarding their energy through self-preservation. A huge piece of this puzzle is our third strength. They have strong boundaries. They've learned a really tough lesson that many of us struggle with. It is so much better to disappoint someone else than it is to betray your own self. And this leads to this amazing concept called a boundary win. I love this. It completely flips the script. We think losing friends is a failure, right? But what if you're walking away from drama, from negativity, from toxic people? That's not a loss. That's a massive win for your own personal peace. All right, the fourth strength is almost like a sixth sense. These individuals are often hyper-intuitive. It's like they're operating on a different frequency. They don't just hear what you're saying, they feel the energy behind your words. So when they walk into a room, they're picking up on everything. They can feel the fake smiles. They sense the resentment that no one's talking about. They notice all these little energy shifts that just fly over most people's heads. They see and feel things others can't, and that's exactly why they're so protective of their energy. Now, our final trait might just be the most powerful of all. It reframes this whole idea of solitude as a natural side effect of rapid personal growth. Think about it this way. Some people lose friends not because they're difficult, but because they are evolving. They are on a path of intense personal development and, well, not everyone can keep up. I mean, this transformation journey is intense. We're talking huge identity shifts, deep emotional healing, setting entirely new standards for your life. And as you transform, you naturally start to outgrow people and environments that just don't align with who you're becoming. And you know what? That's okay. And this quote just says it all. If you've ever been told you're too much or too intense, this might be the real story. It's not that you're hard to love, you're just hard to manipulate. So, let's bring all this home. What does this mean for you if you've been nodding along this whole time? It means it is time to embrace your unique design.
So let's recap your core strengths. You are self-sovereign. You are a deep thinker. You are a boundary setter. You are hyper-intuitive. And you are evolving at a rapid pace. See? These aren't weaknesses. They are the literal building blocks of a powerful and authentic life. And the key takeaway here is not that you're going to be alone forever. Not at all. It's that you finally get to stop wasting your incredible presence in places and with people where it isn't truly honored.
So instead of asking how to find more friends, maybe the real question we should all be asking ourselves is this: where and with whom is my presence truly honored?